gone by, America has witnessed some historic match races. Swaps and Nashua, Seabiscuit and War Admiral, and Man of War and Sir Barton. Well, these match races, I assure you, were easier to arrange than the wild race we set up before our You Asked For It cameras. Rex Ainsworth of Houston, Texas, asked for it, writing, "I've seen you settle all kinds of arguments on your show, like when you showed which way a cat drinks milk. Well, I think a bunch of us cowhands got a pip of an argument going for you. I say a wild buffalo, that is, if you can ever get him to cooperate, can outrun a quarter horse. Now, that's saying something because a quarter horse is the fastest thing on four legs in the cow country. So here's luck to you in that wild buffalo quarter horse race." Oh, we certainly needed that good luck. Agree with me on that, Gene?
I sure do, Jack. Nobody ever thought of such a wild idea before.
This is Gene Clark, Mr. Ainsworth. He owns the largest private buffalo ranch in the world. That's near Newport Beach in California. Now, Gene, without giving away who won the race, it could have ended with the young bull just charging that horse to gore him to death, right?
That's right, or he might have just stood around and refused to run. Nothing is more unpredictable than a buffalo.
A buffalo is famous for his endurance. He can run at full speed all day. They've been clocked from jeeps at 47 miles an hour. Now, a quarter horse gets his name by running a fast quarter mile. So, in order to be fair, we decided on a short distance. And here's what happened. Mr. Ainsworth, you asked for it.
Decided to use the starting gate, Jack, to make the race as fair as possible. The course was laid out along a 1,000-foot straightaway from the starting gate to a white chalk mark. Naturally, it's impossible for anyone to ride the buffalo, but the next best thing was a man on the quarter horse. He's a top hand from the Irvine Ranch where this quarter horse was raised. The young bull buffalo had his horn roped to the front of the trailer. We opened the safety bar and let down the tailgate, then backed the trailer into the starting gate so the buff would have only one way to run. To tell the truth, Jack, we didn't have any idea what that buffalo would do once he was cut loose. And the way he was acting up, we were beginning to have our doubts, but we decided to give it a fair try. Now watch this.
Uh-oh, what happened?
The buff got a horn hook. That quarter horse, trained to race, just wouldn't wait. It took us a full hour to round the buff up and get him back for another start. But there they are, ready to go again. They're off. The buff takes an early lead. A second camera halfway down the track picks them up in slow motion. The buff held to the rail. Go straight. Watch this steady and power. The quarter horse digs in. He closes the gap to a length. Three-quarters. A third camera stops the action at the finish. The buffalo wins by a half length. But notice just after they cross that line how the buffalo tries to swerve into the horse. All that buff really wanted to do was get rid of that horse.
You know, Gene, if that race had taken place out in the prairie, that bull buffalo would still be running.
It took all my wranglers to catch him as is, Jack, even in the confines of that racetrack. I guess I don't have to tell you, we got after him with the pickup trucks, not on the horses. That buff is back in the pasture grazing happily anyway.
I'll bet he'll never forget the day he raced a quarter horse and won. Well, Rex Ainsworth, the match race that you wanted to see did happen after all, in spite of all the dangers to man and horse. You asked for it.